realize how bright blue the collar on this shirt is when I bought it.
Well, now you look like an idiot.
Now I look stupid. No wonder they kept giving me weird looks inside. So anyway, we're gonna review the Riff Tracks Mothra now that I know my car works. It turns out
that was a little yikes.
It turns out I left the lights on when we went inside because it was a little overcast when we left. So I turned the headlights on, and we got here and it was fine. So I didn't notice the lights are on, and car's 30 years old, so it doesn't beep at me if I accidentally do that.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
But she held out just fine.
It withstood Mothra as well. So.
This is a classic.
I hadn't seen Mothra before. You said you had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of Mothra just on its own?
The movie on its own?
Yeah.
There's a lot of great destruction in this movie. I quite enjoy it. It's a slow burn.
It is. I'm not like, I haven't seen a lot of kaiju movies. I'm not like super into it, but I do like Mothra. I hadn't seen that, but I'd seen Mothra versus King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And I like Mothra because Mothra is one of the weirder ones.
Yeah.
Because like it's not just a giant moth. It's got this weird mythology to it.
Yeah.
It's like Mothra is a giant moth that is connected to two tiny singing women. Do they explain who these women are, what the deal is? Or it's just
they come in every box of Mothra cereal.
I just don't understand like what their purpose is.
Somebody saw King Kong and was like, you know what this movie needs? Two tiny women to worship this shit.
Yeah, it was King Kong, but with two tiny women and a giant moth coming to save them. But it's like it's a caterpillar or whatever. It's like a larva before for most of the time that it shows up anyway, because it's like what, an hour in before we get
like
Mothra?
halfway through until the egg hatches, and then it's the larva for a while, and it goes in its cocoon. It comes out as Mothra, and I like Mothra because most of the destruction that it's causing, it's really not meaning to. Like, the plot of it is just simply that the two tiny women were kidnapped by the evil guy who wants to put on a show, and then he does, and they call out for Mothra to save them, and Mothra does, and it's like, if you get some big clumsy guy to help you out, and he makes his way towards you, and he accidentally knocks over maybe like the waiter who spills a pitcher of milk on some people, like...
Yeah, it's not like with Godzilla, like they shoot him with some missiles, and then he's like, I'm gonna like ice you. It's just Mothra's just like, huh? Oh well, and it's so cute, and it's so adorable, and pretty. Which is weird, because all the kaijus are big, ugly monsters, and then there's Mothra.
And then there's Mothra, who he's causing destruction just because his wings are so big, and it's causing a windstorm.
Big.
He is too big.
It'd be like if Lloyd was giant.
Yeah.
And just was getting somewhere. Like, he didn't mean nothing. He's just big. He's just too big.
Yeah.
He's too full of pudding.
Lloyd is too full of pudding.
I like that villain guy. I'm
Nelson?
Torn. Yeah, I don't know if he's my favorite character. I'm kind of torn between him and the stupid comic reliefy guy. Cause
I like Nelson the best.
Nelson's funny. He's like the Japanese combination of Tim Curry and Chris Kattan.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got like the
that smarmy face all the time.
The evil eyebrow. And because I couldn't tell if it was a Japanese guy or Tim Curry.
Yeah, he does look like Tim Curry. Like Tim Curry in the Clue movie. Yeah. That's what he was reminding me of. But
he just... They go to Radioactive Island and find a couple of tiny girls, and you know what? Why the hell not? Put them in this goddamn fucking cage. Let's get them back to civilization, and we put on a goddamn show.
That no one can see.
Yeah.
Like, why are people going bananas over this?
It reminds me of, like,
it could have been the flea circus.
Yeah.
Where you just pretend there's two tiny women.
That's why they give you the tiny binoculars when you go to this shit. Just in case this happens someday. Oh, yeah, okay, I can see what's going on up there.
Who pays for that? And
people who are too rich.
They can fake that and make just as much money and not risk getting killed by a giant moth.
It's
but
like
they're idiots.
It's like in Staying Alive when they put on the devil's or Satan's when they put on the Satan's Alley show at the end, and the audience is going nuts over it, even though they're not seeing what we're seeing because we're watching a movie that has post-production slow motion effects being put into it and multiple camera angles. What is the audience saying? How is this impressive to them?
Yeah, I don't know about like tiny carriage being drawn across there, and one of the jokes was like a middle school production, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know about this money-making venture.
Gentlemen, is it really worth this to put on this show with the tiny women singing about Mothra, only for half of Newkirk City to be leveled by the end of it?
Surely they were doing just fine before this because of the reaction from the crowd when they're just setting off for this research mission, because this crowd is going nuts.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're probably famous enough. You could probably just make money doing, like, I don't know, speaking appearances or something. I don't know if McSmarmington really needs this fairy business. I don't think he's really thought this through.
Like, and when they get off of that boat, they're greeted like World War II has ended, the sailors are coming home. Come here, baby!
Yeah,
kiss
like,
in the middle
they don't know what went on.
Yeah.
And they don't even tell them about, like, those discoveries they made anyway, so what do they do?
This is before they find out about
like,
the tiny women.
Research!
Research!
Like, if only science in real life had this kind of reaction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, results, maybe. It might take a little while. Woo! Variables. You maybe got some soil samples. Woo!
Well, my favorite part of this movie is actually the ending. Because Mothra has caused so much damage. I mean, like we said, it's different than Godzilla, who's just like breathing fire on buildings and toppling over shit. I don't think Mothra is aware of all the damage that he's causing, like between the bridge collapsing, the buildings falling over, cars just boats.
He's basically a giant taxi. What he is.
He is, but he's really huge, and the girls are unfortunately in a big city, and that's going to cause some damage. This would, if they took him to the Sahara Desert, people would be fine.
Why do those tiny women need a giant moth to get them?
Yeah.
Surely a normal-sized moth might have done all right.
Yeah.
They got to make their big fucking exit. I don't think they're as nice as they say they are.
No, and I think that moth just wants to eat them by the end of it. Where are those girls sitting?
It might have eaten them by the end.
Oh, they are in the sequel.
Oh, man. I do remember them in the Ghidorah one, because I didn't realize this was part of the Mothra mythos, and then all of a sudden there's tiny women singing, and I'm like, I'm very confused.
Godzilla vs. Mothra is the first one that I saw.
Yeah, like, this one doesn't explain it any better than that one, because I was like, oh, maybe if I see the origin, I'll kind of know what the story is. I really don't.
Radiation.
Sure, why not?
Radiation! Haven't you seen the pictures of, like, after, like, the bomb went off, and there's the people born with the radiation poisoning, there's, like, they had deformities, but also tiny women.
This is the sexy side of radiation. You got two tiny sexy ladies, a beautiful moth.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly. It's like with Godzilla, what Godzilla was like, it's supposed to be about the radiation and the fallout from all that. But this is like, you know, their fancified Hollywood version. They're like, none of this ugly Godzilla stuff. We're gonna
Let's
do
get
the sexy
these pretty
one.
moth wings in there. And when this movie ends, they're all, I mean, I understand them being glad that the moth is gone and is not, but they're sad to see the moth go. And they says to the two tiny women, like, come back and see us. What? Really? Like, there's like, Man of Steel doesn't have this many dead people in it. Like, so bye, come back and see us again. And then, like, they're waiting, bye Mothra, bye. Like half of the city is destroyed. And and the girl is like, oh man, I forgot to get a picture. Like, oh, what do I write about in the paper tomorrow? Like, really? Like, I don't know. I think it'll mostly be filled with obituaries.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure people will believe you if you don't have the pictures. Mm-hmm. I think there were some witnesses that can corroborate your story.
It'd be like if at the end of, like, Independence Day, the ship goes back off into space at the end and, bye! Bye! Ah, man! I can't take a picture!
It's like the ending of Langoliers, where they all jump and freeze frame at the end.
Yeah!
A little girl was stabbed to death, but I love that the ending for the little boy in Mothra was just, he was beaten up and tied up, never seen again. Like, they rescue him, but there's no conclusion for him. He's just gone.
Good, that's one thing
a terrible experience.
That's one thing I'll compliment about this movie, because usually the worst part of these movies is the fucking shoehorned in annoying fucking kid.
Yeah, they always have, like, a kid that's, like, plucky. That's what I thought they were gonna do when they introduced them.
No, he's really only in it for a few scenes.
So I was like, oh, alright, I guess he's not... I guess the comic relief goes to reporter guy.
Thank God, I can deal with that more than I can, like, the Godzilla not so bad. He just wants to be a friend. Shut up.
I want to hang out with Godzilla's kid. King of the monsters.
You're fucking... Yeah.
Hey guys,
you know what that Godzilla says?
My smoke rings at you, boy. What the fuck is your point?
Stupid.
Monster's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, and like because it's been a while since I watched Mothra. Probably not since they used to show this stuff on Sci-Fi Channel all the time. But like, so when that kid showed up in this, I'm like, oh, there's that stock character again. Yeah. Stupid kid with stupid hat who looks like he's filled with stupid chocolate. He's only in it for a couple scenes. That's fine.
I like that comic relief reporter. I liked him because he was useless and dumb. Well, I guess he wasn't. He did stuff, but like he was a dumb character. But also like he pulls like that karate out of his ass. Like, they have that scene where they're sneaking in to get the women, there's all that security, he's like, I'll take him on, and then he's like...
He swats him in the head with a rolled up paper. Like, it feels like there might have been a conversation behind the camera that was like, what do you mean you don't know karate?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like, okay, they act like in the movie he's doing karate and he takes them out, except the guy doesn't know how to do it. Yeah. Because, like, they're making jokes like, oh, rolled up newspaper. It's like, no, you could use a rolled up newspaper as a weapon. I've seen, like, Jackie Chan do that, but it's not like all floppy like that. You gotta like make it rigid. He left it all floppy and he's like, barely touched it.
Jackie Chan
like, oh no, I've been hit.
Jackie Chan can make that shit work. This guy was swatting him on the nose like they just pissed on his carpet.
Yeah, well, I mean, not just Jackie Chan. I mean, I know that you can use a rolled up newspaper as a weapon, but you gotta make it rigid. You can't just like flop it like that.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing. But I kind of liked that more because like the guy is not in the best physical shape either. But I mean, there are martial artists that are heavy, like what is
Sammo Hung?
Yeah.
The guy looked like a young Sammo Hung.
He did, except with none of the skill.
Yeah.
Which made it funnier to me. That they're like, oh no, this guy took them all out.
Let's not forget about Steven Seagal either. Big man who can fight.
Sort of. His stunt double.
I still wouldn't piss Steven Seagal off. I've seen him pluck out too many eyeballs.
Well, I mean, if we're going with our fighting skills, I think, yeah, he can kick our ass.
I guess not if I run faster.
Steven Seagal versus Mothra. Who's gonna win?
Steven Seagal versus Mothra?
If it's a giant Steven Seagal. Let's make it a little more fair here. Because, tiny Steven Seagal, I don't know.
Probably giant Steven Seagal, because he could just...
well, how giant is he in proportion? Is he like the size of a normal human to a normal moth? Or is it kind of like, they're kind of like, leveled?
Oh, that they're like leveled? Well, that's tough, because the Mothra could probably just stab him.
Yeah, because Mothra's got the wind power. But...
Yeah, Mothra's got the wind power, so even if, the wind, took down, but the wind took down, skyscrapers, so it could probably fly off like kind of big Steven Seagal into the ocean.
Maybe Mothra wouldn't even really want to fight him. He'd just be going around him like, it's got shit to do. Like, she's like, sorry, I'm busy. And Steven Seagal's like, I'm ready to go.
Because Steven Seagal stole the two tiny girls because he thought they were both Kit Kat bars.
Yeah, I liked the joke at the end of Riff Tracks where when she's picking up the girls and then like, oh hey guy,
yeah,
because that's what you just cut back and they're gone, so it's like, what happened?
I liked the moth got rid of that giant worm, hooray. There was so much superimposing effects in this.
There were a lot of them
that wasn't needed.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. I was like, oh, so this is a shot where Mothra's going to show up, and then she doesn't. So
yeah.
Like, okay.
And then Mothra doesn't show up, and then, like, I guess they just couldn't get anyone to stand in front of a city. Or
Some of them, I think, is because it was supposed to be Newkirk, like in the States, and so they were shooting in Japan, so they were kind of trying to pretend that they were there. So I think some of those ones made sense, but then there are other ones, like they have like the military in front of things where I'm like, why did that need to be screened?
Yeah, like you couldn't just film it by any old building, like, so yeah, I got used to it as the movie went on, because when it was first doing that, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a shot where Mothra's in the background. I guess they were just filming, like, in the desert, I guess.
I mean, you could tell this was a movie that had a budget at the time. It's just, the effects are dated because of the time, but I mean...
But, this is the kind of disaster shit I like watching. I like watching stuff where it's real shit getting destroyed.
Little models and things like that.
Yeah, like when I go see a disaster movie... I like seeing stuff that they've built and then they destroy it. Whether we're talking about something like Independence Day or a monster movie like this, or like Earthquake with Charlton Heston or something like that. I like when I go see a disaster movie or a destruction movie, I want to see destruction, no matter how toy car-y it looks like, or if it's...
Honestly, most of it, like... It doesn't really look bad.
Yeah,
even if
it
it's
still
models.
looks impressive. Like,
yeah, like, I mean...
Not that I'm going to be like, that's real, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, they didn't feel, like, laughably bad. I mean, the models look good.
When there's stuff like, when the city's in the background and everything, like, it's an impressive shot. It's got impressive cinematography in there.
And Mothra looks good.
Yeah.
The animation was a little dodgy, but like the actual the actual puppetry that they had going on. Yeah. Did they have a suit person in this one, since it was never like walking at any point?
I don't know.
Like maybe when it was the larva, maybe there was someone in there to...
Oh, yeah.
That
looked like it could have been someone rolled up in a sleeping bag.
But I don't know. I mean, like, that'd be really tough to do, like, a flying one, especially. And it didn't really look bad when you had the close-ups of it flying.
No, yeah. Like, it was still fun to look at. And I've known people before who are afraid of moths and don't like Mothra because of that, because Mothra freaks them out. I dated a girl once who was like horrified of moths, and like Godzilla versus Mothra was on TV, and there's a part where it's this big shot where they're all worshiping it, of course, and Mothra's just chilling there. And it was a shot where you kind of don't see it right away until you look up and then see it there. And I'm like, oh, there it is. She's like, oh my God. Sarah doesn't like moths very much. Because I remember being horrified at, there was that fake Josh meme generator, or like a Josh Hadley meme generator, where it was like, it might still be online, but it was like a picture of Josh holding up his two middle fingers, and then like the meme was like just horrible things that he, I guess, has supposedly done. Stuff that's awful. That's just like he loans you money, takes son's tongue as collateral. Like, just really horrible stuff. Like co-worker steals spot at work, hides child porn in his back seat. Anyway, there was one that was like like, cleaning lady misses a spot, fills her mouth with moths. So Sarah, I think, was instantly like, oh no. I'm never going to be Josh's cleaning lady.
Well, we know this meme generator is 100%
It is 1,000% accurate. This shit is real. Yeah, it was like, God, what were some other ones on there? They were horrible. It made me laugh. But it was like, fucks girlfriend in the ass, mails sex tape to her church. Like, why would he do that? What an asshole. Sarah did not like the one about moths.
All the rest of them, fine.
The rest of them, yeah, totally legit. Anyway, that's the fake Josh meme generator. See ya. I don't even know if that's still a thing.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's worth killing time on that.
It's no quilt lady.
No, nothing is. No, but I like when I saw that it was going to be a Riff Tracks, I was like, all right, cool. But this is honestly a movie that I would have gone and seen regardless.
I don't know if it was like the strongest jokes. Not that it was bad or anything, but as far as like other Riff Tracks go, like there were funnier ones. Because I think it's because the movie is a slow burn, but also it's really not that bad, and there's not as much Mothra in it to kind of...
I thought they worked well with the fact that Mothra doesn't turn up till about halfway through or more into the movie.
They had some funny jokes about it, for sure.
Yeah, I was consistently laughing a lot. There weren't a lot of, like, really long stretches where I wasn't laughing.
I mean, I did laugh at points. Like,
yeah.
It's not like it was unfunny or anything. I just feel like maybe there were some better showings.
There was less flubs in this one.
There was less flubs. What was it like? Riff Tracks, or not Riff Tracks is of course what it is. But Time Chasers. Did they have a lot in that one? Or
I think there might have been.
It was one of them where there were a lot of flubs. But this
that was the one that was before the MST3K show. And that was the one where we had a riffer in the audience.
Yeah, oh, that was miserable.
This one wasn't that bad. We went to the non-live version. We went to the re-showing. And there was still a number of people there. I was sitting next to a power laugher.
I could hear him. Yeah. He was super loud to me, and he wasn't next to me.
I was fine. Like, because I was, in my head, I was like, well, okay, at least it's not that lady from Time Chasers who's fucking talking along with the movie. Like, at least it wasn't that. I can deal with, ha ha ha!
Some of them, it's like, it's almost funnier because it really wasn't that funny of a joke, but they think it's hilarious. Like, all right.
I just said their names. The hell. And we had to hop the railing in front of us to get to our seats.
Yeah, well, because there was too many people on one side, and the other side, the lady was like, she was too big, and I didn't want to like make her get up. So
I know.
I felt uncomfortable, so I was like, no, I'll just hop it.
I did the same thing when I had to use the restroom too. I was like, just like 10 people on this side, and I don't want to ask this lady to move.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I would feel, if it was me, I would feel awkward, like, if I had to, like, get up every time for someone to go by. So I was like, alright, just use my kung fu skills.
Climb over the rail. I get better kung fu skills than the guy in the fucking movie.
I like that Mothra has groupies, by the way.
Yeah, the characters from Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah. Are they supposed to be in, like, brown face, or is it just like they're just really tan, or I couldn't tell.
Maybe they went the Amazon cannibal route and just shot with natives in the Amazon and put a blonde wig on him.
Yeah, the blonde one. It was like, what was up with that guy?
That means he's their leader,
I guess.
He's the mayor.
He's the mayor of Mothra Town.
Yeah, this movie's like Cannibal Holocaust if a giant moth followed Robert Kerman back to New York to get the reel of film back.
That joke about Mothra eating the women at the end reminds me of, there was a news story once, and this was a true thing, where it was a seal that had been rescued. And I don't know if it had like oil on it or it was just hurt or whatever. I don't know. It got rescued, and there was this big effort to save this seal. And there was like this giant gathering of people for this release after the seal was healed. Mm-hmm. And they let the seal go, and immediately in front of all of these onlookers, including families and children, an orca comes up and eats it. Oh! Right in front of them. And that's what I'm imagining. Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, you're like, Mothra, we've saved the women. Ow! But I didn't take any pictures.
Freeze frame.
This is pretty much exactly the same thing.
Yeah, their town is filled with so much dust now from that giant dusty moth. He's gonna go into a giant car and bother two giant people reviewing a movie. We did have a short at the beginning of this too.
Soapy.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
It was this is my favorite kind of short. The one where someone's not doing something right, and then some inanimate object comes to life to tell them what they're doing wrong, whether it's like freaking Coily or the talking cars and that one about vehicle safety. This one was a guy in a giant bar of soap costume because the kid likes playing cowboys and Indians because that's what you did in the 50s. And
man, the quality of that film looked like crap. Like just
that looked like that
grain of dirt everywhere.
I've seen this before. Like, this is the burning hell that I watched a couple of days ago. I know where this is going. That soap's gonna burn in hell. And so the kid's like all fucking dirty, and his nuclear family, mom and dad, is like, get to the bathtub. And the kid goes to bed in the bar of soap, who's a guy in a giant soap costume.
Where is Soapy's pants?
Thank you. Exactly. Soap was wearing no pants.
No pants. And it didn't look like tights either. It just looked like some guy whose wang was barely out of shot with this soap.
In a little boy's room that he likes watching take baths.
Because, like, as soon as he showed up and I saw that, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did you notice he had a wedding band on?
Oh, did he?
He did.
Where's Mrs. Soapy?
Probably melted.
She was all used up.
Yeah. He just lost his wife. It looked like, do you remember the movie Night Dreams with the dancing, I think that's one of my older episodes. Like, it was this surreal, like, 70s porn, but there's a scene where a guy's in a giant, like, mini wheats box, or like a malto meal box, and then there's someone who's having sex with someone in a giant, like, sandwich costume. That's what fucking Soapy looked like. Like, he belongs in this same universe. Only in this universe, it's like, yeah, okay, the sandwich is having consensual sex with the malto meal. Fine. Soapy is like the fucking pederast of this goddamn universe. Soapy.
Man, what a clever name, Soapy.
Yeah.
Took me about 5 seconds to think of that one.
Every time I see those fucking 50s shorts, I'm like, God, the 50s suck.
Man. But as they pointed out, it doesn't have power over reality, so not really the strongest inanimate object showing either. Mm-hmm. Though the pantsless element, I think, elevated it a little bit.
And, again, he found his soulmate, apparently, if he's married. Oh,
I'm so glad Soapy found true love.
I liked when they gave advice on washing your hair. And what was it they said? It was something like, now women, you gotta make sure to wash your hair at least once every 3 weeks.
No, it was once every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Let's not be ridiculous. It's like, really? That's only... but just for girls, too. It's like, what? But why? Why specifically girls in this situation? Only once every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I wash my head once every 2 weeks, but I'm a dude.
Yeah, it would have made slightly more sense if they'd said it for a guy.
Yeah.
Even though 2 weeks is a long time, But yeah, I just don't get why girls especially. I'm not really sure on this advice here on being sanitary.
Who am I going to impress? Lloyd? Well, now that I do have a girlfriend, I have been taking baths every day.
One thing I didn't get about Soapy too. Okay, no pants, Renaissance sleeves. I guess going on. Like who made the costuming decision here? Like who put this together? Who decided that?
So that was a cardboard box somebody just spray painted white and wrote Soapy on. Just stuck it on like the stagehand. Oh, so good. And you're right, that real film looked like ass.
Yeah, that one did not hold up very well.
There's always something horrifying about certain kinds of movies that you watch that look like that. Like this, for instance. That's like the wholesome nuclear family, but it's shot like the fucking Zapruder film. So there is just something like, sort of like a less known photography about it.
Yeah.
And then when you're watching something like The Burning Hell, that is like The Wicker Man is real. And it's as horrifyingly unsettling watching something with that fucking real film opening with this Children of the Corn choir singing with a bonfire over him with the text that says The Burning Hell. Oh, God. Somebody is getting human sacrificed between the takes of this movie.
Soapy demands blood.
Yeah. I want to make a movie about the making of something like that.
Yeah.
Or something like The Burning Hell, where it's like a just terrifying thriller. Like it takes place in the same universe as True Detective.
Oh man, like a wholesome 50s short like that, but slowly becomes unhinged and something like Black Dahlia happens or something.
Yeah.
Or there's like a body and
yeah,
encased in wax or something.
It starts out like this and then just becomes like The Burning Hell.
Yeah.
Or something. Fuck.
The film gets more degraded as it goes or something. Oh, that'd be creepy.
My favorite line in The Burning Hell is when the rich guy, one of the flashbacks of this, like all the disciples are standing there, played by guys from Mississippi. So the disciples are all standing there, and then like the fat rich guy shows up, and the disciple is like, "Come to us, brother. Like, we're giving the good news of Jesus, man." And the rich guy literally just goes, "Thanks, but no thanks." And leaves, and then has a heart attack and goes to hell. And then the preacher's like, "Let's see how he's holding up 1,000 years from now." And it's 1,000 years later, he's still in hell, going like, "Why did I not feed that beggar?" It's been 1,000 years. Get over it, man.
Oh no.
The next one they're doing is
Carnival of Souls.
That's a really good movie, actually.
I've never seen it. That looked creepy as hell.
It is. Like, I'm surprised they're doing that. That's a legitimately like really creepy good movie. Like,
yeah, what year was that made? Do you remember, like the decade?
60s or 70s.
60s or 70s.
It's a movie that's
creepy.
It kind of is like in like we were talking about with like that Soapy thing with The Burning Hell. Like, Carnival of Souls is made by a guy who did shorts. Like, his career was making stuff like Mr. B. Natch. I don't know if he literally made that, but it was stuff like
educational kid shorts kind of thing.
He worked for like maybe like Jam Handy Productions or something. And Carnival of Souls is the only movie he ever did. Like, I think it was like he made it like when he was kind of in between doing a bunch of educational shorts, and so he made Carnival of Souls thinking it wasn't going to go anywhere as making this horror movie, and then it did. Like, it became this cult. It became his most popular movie, and I think he kind of found some humor in the fact that that was his most popular movie, because he kind of just did it as a lark, and his passion was making educational shorts. It'd be like finding out if, like, you know, someone who was known for... It'd be like someone who's known for doing something like Coily the Spring did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, man. Coily is pretty terrifying, though, anyway. I'd believe that the person who made Coily would make a horror movie that was legitimately scary.
That was just fucking terrifying.
No springs, no springs.
Oh, I had no idea. The same person did Last House on Dead End Street. That makes sense now. Well, next, this is going on Patreon, and it's going to be on the site on Friday, and whenever I get back from Buffalo, I'll be seeing Don't Breathe and The Mechanic 2, and I don't know what comes out after that. Probably something great for Labor Day weekend. That's when all the good movies come out. If it's a kid's movie, I'll shoot you a text.
Sweet.
Any final thoughts about Mothra?
You guys missed the reshowing.
Yeah, you missed it. We're talking about shit you can't see.
It was worth seeing the movie. I like the Riff Tracks was funny. I don't know if it was their strongest showing, but like just seeing Mothra on its own was fine anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good day. I know sometimes they re-show stuff like as the months go on, so if you catch it again, go for it, or just rent Mothra.
They'll do a DVD, don't they usually do them for the live ones?
I think so.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys really want to see it, then I guess you check out the DVD.
Yeah, or just find some movie theater in a big city that's probably showing Mothra. See ya.
Bye.